The next day, I harvested some extra cobblestone and decided to burn them in a furnace to get more stones so that I could trade them with the villagers. But instead of trading with the caveman, I accidentally fed it meat and I accidentally tamed it. A tamed caveman cannot be traded with, so that meant I was in trouble, for I had just lost my Totems of Undying dispenser. In a panic, I decided to hurry all the way over to the desert village which I had found a few nights ago to see if there were any cavemen. And of course, there were no cavemen, but I did find a diamond shovel, so not all was lost. I also found a bunch of crops which could be grown once I made a farm. But I decided to use the wheat on a baby Rebecusaurus to try and tame it so that I could get all the way over to a different village located in the southwestern part of the woodlands. But the baby would not eat any crops. I decided to search on the internet. It turned out that the baby required hay bales to be fed. So next morning, I decided to gather some extra hay bales and decided to tame the baby Rebecusaurus. A few times and it worked. It all seemed going pretty well until I decided to feed it and I realized that there was no ride button or any option to mount this creature. So in panic, I went ahead and tamed another one. That's when the second problem happened. The caveman that I tamed was teleporting at a steady rate. However, the other creatures were not so lucky. Even worse, I eventually lost my way back to my home, so I walked for miles and miles until I ran across a savanna jungle biome. So yeah, that was that as well. I had really trouble finding my way back, but luckily eventually I did. I was so relieved because otherwise I had to set up another camp and I would have lost all progress that I had done of gathering my stones for more Totems of Undying, which I could trade with once I found another wild caveman. That night, with heavy hearts, I decided to take out my spear and kill some extra cows for more hide. Since if the village had a leather worker, I might be able to trade some hide so that I could trade them for emeralds back in the village. The next day was the big day. I took out my pickaxe, I broke the shed open, and I decided to ride my iguanodon to cross over the woodlands to reach the next village. I knew there was a Datokaraptor nest, so I stayed clear of the forest and decided to stay near the cliffs. Bad choice, because the Datokaraptors were waiting for me, and they were hungry. Eventually I panicked until I ran across a bull rex, and my iguanodon got stuck in a tree, so I jumped out and was kicked to death by the Datokaraptor. What was even more annoying was the fact that I actually didn't even have to go to the woods. I just had to use the high ground, and if I would just walked along the mountain path, I would have actually eventually reached the village. So yeah, all that iguanodon, another heart, has officially gone to waste, which was kind of disappointing. In the village, I found some pretty good loot, so I decided to take all of it. Luckily for me, there was 2 leatherworkers in the village, so I managed to trade my hide for a bunch of emeralds, which I used then to trade for Ebola. I also wanted to tame a Styracosaurus using a net, so I tried to trade more emeralds, but I didn't have enough hide. But luckily for me, I found 7 emeralds in a village chest, so with those 12 emeralds, I decided to purchase a net. The next morning began with me taking down a small Microceratops for its armor. I also noticed the villager being attacked by a poisonous Sinornithosaurus. Then, using a few carrots I found in the village, I decided to breed up some Mimmies since I kind of felt bad for the other Mimmy drowning in the river. While I was continuously searching for more loot in the village, I came up on this chest that had 3 golden apples, but the other one had almost a complete set of diamond gear, except for the chest plate. So, yeah, that was great loot there. After meeting a caveman to replenish on my totems of undying, I finally decided to hunt. The first creature I decided to kill was this small velociraptor from the Dinosaur roleplay mod, but I soon realized that all the dinosaurs in the Dinosaur RP mod defend each other, so yeah, even this Brachiosaurus decided to kill me because I attacked the same velociraptor from that add-on. I don't know why the hell the devs would actually implement something like that. Just makes no sense, but yeah, I Jurassic World: The Fallen Kingdom did this Brachiosaur to death. But I also got ambushed by a Glyptodon. I don't know what the hell that guy was attacking me for, but yep, I got the Brachiosaurus, yep. And I got its bones as well, so... And on the way back, actually a juvenile T-Rex decided to kill me. Well, it tried to kill me at least, because I think I killed his mom the last time, but I killed him as well, so... Yeah, why the hell not? Then I killed another Velociraptor. Before I went to bed though, I had to do the most entertaining thing ever. Yes, inventory management. The next morning I decided to hunt some iguanodons. So with my newly strengthened bow, I decided to shoot this iguanodon and catch it on fire. But for some reason, the Megatherium started attacking again, so I had to take them out first. Like, seriously, what's wrong with these guys? Well, I killed the iguanodon and I got its meat, so... Yeah, and I also noticed this Limentria in the desert, so... You can't actually tame this Limentria, but if you ride on its back, it might actually take off, and yeah, you can control it, but it's still fun, so... Yeah, it actually goes up. Whee! So yeah, you can actually see what's on the ground, you can see the ground, yeah. And it is also good for escaping carnivores. So I also found, with this net, I decided to tame this Styracosaurus, so yeah. And just like that, we had our first tamed dinosaur, yeah. But there was one problem. Every time when my tame mounted dinosaur attacks, I would lose HP as well. I don't know why the hell that was the case, but every time I tried to ride on my Styracosaurus and I would perform the attack, it would also damage me, so I decided to give the Styracosaurus a buffering. Since the dinosaurs in this Dinosaur RP mod have actually upgrades which you can give them to get either more armor, more attack, and sometimes they even act as beacons, so yeah. I decided to give him a war drum beacon, which actually gives him a lot of benefits, but it looks like we didn't have enough resources for it, since I actually needed a Dimetrodon fin, so yeah, we'll have to go to the desert and hunt some Dimetrodons, yeah, so... Then I did something stupid again. For some reason I decided to kill this Gigantopithecus. I don't know why, but yeah, apparently it was also super fast, so... Yeah, you don't want to mess around with those. And then, well... The Ankylosaurus started attacking me. I don't know why they would do that, but yeah, apparently like the dinosaurs in the Cenozoic add-on and the Dinosaur BP add-on, they tend to kind of help each other, so... And yeah, also one of Rebecchusauruses got killed by the Ankylosaurus, but I honestly didn't care. They're a shit mount anyways. So what it took like ages, I finally managed to kill the T-Rex. Well, and then I got some bones and stuff, and then I finally got to kill the Dimetrodon. That night, however, I actually got ambushed by this crazed Gallimimus, which was actually one of my culprits from last gameplay season's death, so... Yeah, luckily enough, this time I had my totem, so I didn't die right away. Woo! Thank God. The next morning, I finally crafted up the war drum equipment and decided to equip Styracosaurus with it. I named the Styracosaurus Rakarako because, like, that's a tradition. Every time we get mount on this dinosaur, we get strength 2 and speed increase 2, so that's great. And the best of all, you don't actually have to ride the dinosaur to get the buff. Like, simply staying near the dinosaur will give you the buff. Also, I finally realized that I actually ran out of firewood, so yeah, I decided to go wood mining that morning. Apparently, my shield broke down as well, so I made a new one. The next day was quite interesting. I decided to go on a bit out of exploring in the desert, and I actually saw my first Spinosaurus in this gameplay series. Yeah, very neat, huh? But luckily it was a juvenile, so it did not attack me right away. But there was also a Dunkleosteus in the river, and this guy decided it would be a nice decision if he decided to bite my ass, so I killed it. That night, I finally began construction on my house. I decided to make the base with cobblestone and try to make it like an ancient temple of a sort. But then I realized I did not have enough stone to create my house, so yep, back to the mines, I guess. Remember guys when I said I ran out of torches so I was unable to drill a hole to the other side? Yep, this time I finally managed to drill a hole onto the other side. Turns out it was a hole that was like, I don't know, like a few meters away from my house. I don't know why the hell I did that, but anyways, for the next 7 days, it's building montage time! Seven days later, the house was complete. For now, at least. I also managed to find a baby iguanodon, which I finally managed to made a small cage for it, so yeah. But then other iguanodons die.